still the conversation this morning, and earlier we talked about teenagers raising 21st century teenagers, and from the teenagers we're moving to the Nigerian youth, and we have two of them here to discuss youth participation in grassroots development. With me is Ibrahim Adigun, Coordinator, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Otiolowo Ojuwoye chapter.
Good morning.
We also have Comrade Jamiu Ademusu. He's the Vice Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos West. You're also with.
Good morning.
Ajibola, please continue before his voice finally disappears.
The rain has taken Adebinkwe's voice away. Okay, gentlemen, it's good to have you in the studio. Like you said earlier, we discussed how we can raise a responsible 21st century teenager, but now we're focusing on youth participation in grassroots development. Let's start from the basic now, which is grassroots development. I'm going to start from Comrade Adigun. What exactly do you understand by grassroots development before we discuss how youth can actually fit in?
Well, thank you so much. Once again, I really appreciate this pleasure to be here. I'm Engineer Adigun Ibrahim Olalekon by name. And my understanding of grassroots development has to do with the local government and community engagement, because the community makes up the society. And when you talk about grassroots development, you talk about what happens within our streets, within our locality, within our local government, which comes together to form a huge clusters of community. And for me, it is very important that at any society that would develop, you take the society by its grassroots. The development that happens at the grassroots level determines how fast the society will develop. And you agree with me that in Lagos State, for example, compared to other states in the Federation, because of the grassroots governance that we have that is functioning, that is active, which is the local government administration that has been consistent over the years. You've seen local government chairmen building roads, doing a lot of huge projects, which affects the poorest of the poor at the grassroots. So, the development that we aspire for our society, for Nigeria and for Lagos State, and for our society at large, must start from the grassroots. And of course, if the grassroots is faulty, the society at large will be faulty. And you talk about you want to reach out to those that are the primary school student, for example. It is grassroots governance that caters for them. You talk about the schooling before the grassroots is a grassroots governance that talks about that. You talk about the teenagers, the level of governance that interfaces with them majorly is a grassroots governance. And if the grassroots governance is not open to listen to the yearning, is going to really be faulty, and it will affect them at the end of the day. So it is easy to say that for a society to grow, grassroots administration and youth participation at that level must be done in a way that it engages everybody together.
Okay, so he asked a question, second question, that how do the youths now fit in? So how do you engage, this youth to allow them fit in to what you do?
Okay, yeah, so as he has rightly explained what grassroots development is all about, the truth of the matter is that only the young people can drive the growth and development in the community. Without the youth involvement and engagement in the grassroots, trust me, the development you are emphasizing might not materialize. For example, as a young person, because of my passion for development at the grassroots level, I get involved in the Community Development Association, and I'm the youngest amongst all. And as being the youngest, we create innovative projects and programs within my Idiorogbo community, just to ensure that I have meaningful impact and there is direct impact to every young person. The next phase of our project, we are looking at having the statistics and data of every young person and teenagers within that our CDA, just to ensure that we have direct impact in there, because our belief is that this set of young people, they will be the one that will grow, go to secondary school, go to our institution, and they will come back and do something within the community. So failure to engage them rightly then be ready to see negativity in society.
So what are the major needs of the Nigerian youth?
Yes. Okay.
Anyone of you?
Okay. Well, first of all, at our local level, so what we do basically is, as young people, we always have that perception that the government needs to do everything for us. And of course, as youth leaders at the grassroots level, we felt that we also need to contribute and bring a lot of things to the table so that we can also join the government as a partner to ensure that we develop our community. I'm from a society, I'm from a local government where when you mention the name, our reflection is you talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
There's a perception already.
The good boys.
So we have the good boys, we have the bad boys, and we have the and that is the true reflection of what happens in the whole world. Because in the world you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it's just quite fortunate that we have the 3-in-1 in my own locality. But you agree with me that over the past few years, we have enjoyed a lot of tremendous developments in Mushin and Odiolowo together. And the crime rates to what we have in those societies have reduced because of the investment, the huge investment that we as young people have also contributed to that locality.
Such as?
So, for example, Mushin is known to be a drug, a very drug intense and where people engage in drug activities a lot. Over the past few years, we have invested a lot in running different advocacies to ensure that young people demand less of those materials, of those substances. And if you go to, what is it called, Akala, the Akala community, for example, the local government chairman did what we collaborated with us and listened to the yearnings of young people, opened up that surroundings, opened up that locality for vehicular movement. So that when you open up that society for vehicular movement, what happens is that the rate at which people stay there, engage in different unlawful activities reduces. And for us as young people, the way we collaborated is to ensure that we speak to young people within that locality to shun the use of substance abuse. Also, what we have also done is, capacity development is another thing. At the grassroots level, we observe that young people, most of them after the secondary school, probably there is 1 or 2 years gap for them to get into our institution because our institutions cannot accommodate all of them at once. So what we did is we organized what we call capacity development programs that is collaborated with the government in that society to also get our young people engaged, because we believe that an idle hand is the devil's workshop. So when we do this, when we have been doing this, for example, it has helped us to achieve a certain level of sanity within our society. I believe that if this is replicated across board in all localities across board, what will happen is that young people will be gainfully engaged. Because what young people need is you need to engage them using sporting activities. We do a lot of sporting activities within our society. Technological and ICT related activities, we do that within our locality. In fact, what we used to do in our locality at our own level of the youth council in Odiolo, we organize what we call breakfast session. When you say breakfast session, ordinarily supposed to be come and eat, and you dine in probably you take buffet, you do it in a more corporate kind of way. But because we want to make sure that our young people, the young people within our locality are gainfully engaged, so what we have done is to take the breakfast to the streets. Imagine you have a breakfast session on the streets. The young people are passing by, they are listening to some of the good things you are seeing. That is direct impact of community engagement. And the testimony for about 4 of the edition of the breakfast session we've had is that we've gotten people that we've been able to rehabilitate. In fact, some of them, the last one we did in collaboration with the Lagos State Command of the NDLA, we were able to give a sewing machine to one of the young people we were able to rehabilitate from the streets of within our locality. So that is direct engagement of what youth participation can do.
One of your success stories. Okay, Vice Chairman.
Yes.
I think, what's his name? Yes, Ibrahim has said a lot about what your council is doing. Do you collaborate? Because it's a huge project.
Yeah.
Is there any form of collaboration? Because you cannot do it on your own.
Exactly. So let me pick it from this angle. Youth Council as a corporate organization, one of our major objectives is that Youth Council is like a bridge between the youth and the corporate bodies. It's a bridge between the youth and the government. So there is, in part of our objectives, that we are focused at collaborating with agencies, organizations, MDAs, and all of that, because we realize that the era we have now, we are not in the era of competition, we're in the era of collaboration. There is always need for synergy. At the level of the senatorial district, I'm the vice chairman. I have 28 local governments and LCDA under my leadership, and which Odiolowo is inclusive. Part of our advocacy and all this while is that particularly we focus on innovations, vices that affect the young people, one of which is the issue of the drug that he has mentioned. We have engaged on that. We even extend it to the young people that are negligent and careless of information and everything that are in the correctional center. You understand? We realize that many people at the correctional center, some of them is out of ignorance, negligence on some basic informations that led them there, to the extent that we are forced to salvage some of them through our pro bono legal people that did that for us. So we felt that we can't do all these things alone. We partner with the Nigeria Bar Association at the local level to achieve that with the correctional center. So we, at the level of the Youth Council, one of our achievements is that, our structure is from the national level to the states to the local. Even at the local, we now have community-based organization and the voluntary youth organization. So the community-based are entrenched within the community. So we partner with stakeholders within the community to ensure that we achieve our desired goal. So we do series of activities day in, day out, just to ensure that we keep engaging the youth at every point in time. So summary is that we don't do it all alone. Okay.
Ibrahim, part of the major problem plaguing our society is leadership.
Yeah.
What are you doing at the grassroots level to ensure that the next type of leaders that we are going to have is not the same type of leaders that we have these days? Because when you look at what you see around, corruption is everywhere. People abuse their offices to enrich themselves. What are you doing to reorientate our youth at the grassroots in such a way that tomorrow, if they have any opportunity to be elected or appointed, they will actually impact the people that are in need in their immediate society?
Thank you so much. Firstly, what we do, I'll try to take it up from the aspect of collaboration. So we have been collaborating a lot. So there is this German NGO, Sky Geese, that we also collaborated with few months ago to train most of our members. They trained about 50 of our members in leadership skills and human capacity development. So that program runs for a week. So what they do is that they train you with different syllabus, that will enhance you, that will enable you to get into the larger society and fit in properly. And so also, that is one. So another thing is at our own level too, we're also collaborating with the NOA at our local level too. So collaboration at that level too is essential. So we've collaborated with NOA to engage our young people in different capacity development so that they'll be able to fit into the society. So what we want to also do is that the Youth Council as an organization creates, in its constitution, creates what we call the Leadership Institute. The National Leadership Institute. So though the National Leadership Institute at our state is not working presently, so our intention is that when we get to that state level, we want to make it work in such a way that, because the statutory provision that the Leadership Institute is supposed to do is to train its member. Yeah. And we have a very rich membership. It will interest you to know that in our local level, we have over 10,000 membership, because we have membership cutting across uniform-based organization, faith-based organization, voluntary youth organization, and so on as community-based organization. For example, in your locality, you can have Idiorogbo Youth Crusade. You can have Odiolowo Ojuwoye Youth Congress. So we have a lot of them under the banner of the National Youth Council. So our intention is to leverage on the National Leadership Institute of the Youth Council to train our members, because our members are also part of the society. And of course, most of them always vie for positions after they have left youth council. They will go and contest for councillors, chairman, House of Assembly members, governor, and what have you. And we have a lot of them doing well in public office now. So what we want to do is to ensure that that institute works. So if that institute works, it enables us to train our members to become potential leaders within our society. So that's what we are going to do.
Okay, my colleague over there has a question.
Like to ask, with the crop of young people that you work with, would you agree that indeed you are positioned for leadership positions? Because oftentimes you hear people say, oh, the young people are not ready to take the mantle of leadership, the young people do not have the strength or the wherewithal. So with the crop of young people that you work with at the moment, would you say that if given the opportunity, you are capable of delivering? Maybe I'll take that from
Okay.
Jamiu.
Yeah, thank you very much. I remember this question was asked while I was an undergraduate in Lautech, because I and my colleagues founded an organization, the Campus Ambassadors. So the person was now asking me, are you guys really prepared for leadership? How do you think, if you are fortunate to be the president or whatever, how do you think you can go about it as young persons? I said, first and foremost is that to be successful as a leader, it takes a resolution, a personal decision, and also to have the right set of people around you. So because I foresaw that vision, I decided to work with young people that are leaders now, to build leaders. This platform is to build leaders that we can work together in the nearest future. Now, the truth of the matter is that there is no way in every system, there's always the good, bad, and the ugly. So you can't generalize by picking the ugly and say, use it to generalize others. No.
Yeah, sure.
Now, before you pick someone to say that, okay, will this person represent, or the question, go and check the track records. Yes, look at the premises. I was telling people boldly that Nigeria will be great again. They say, with all these situations, I said, it's all about belief. If I believe it will work, and you also work with me, trust me, we'll become two. A family will believe it will work. A community will believe it will work. So it's something that is feasible. So don't just generalize that young persons are not prepared, or except you are not picking the right set of people. So if you pick a young person that does not have any good track record, has never been tested at level of leadership. So I tell people, give me the opportunity today to be the governor of Lagos. Trust me, I will deliver, because I've been tested and trusted. I served as a vice, I'm winding up. My tenure is winding down now as a vice chairman Lagos. So in the next how many days? 6 days. You understand that now? So leading 28 local governments, and go and find out, you will realize that I was able to put stability compared to what has been in existence before. So give me the opportunity, I will lead. So, but don't just pick somebody that, by the virtue of
Has not been tested.
sentiment, not been tested. You now say that youth are not capable. Trust me, there are a lot of youth out there that are well knowledgeable, well prepared for tasks. Just give us the opportunity. We'll deliver.
Okay.
Sorry, before you ride on that, I'm just going to say that. So give me that opportunity and I will deliver. Are you ready also to take that opportunity, even if not given?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So what we're doing now is that you observe. Let me take it from this perspective. If you look at this room is filled with a lot of young people, ensuring that
Thank you for saying that.
ensuring that this whole thing is done and is done well. So what it implies is that for a society to work perfectly, young people must drive the change. So if in this room, for example, the young people that are here are lackadaisical as regards their work, this whole thing will not work. Probably you have an old person working, probably the person is tired, and at the end of the day, you have 1 or 2 glitches at work. So what I want to say is, for young people that are working here, I'm quite sure they've earned their right to work here, probably by the virtue of their credentials, by the virtue of what they've done in the past, and so on and so forth. So for us as young people within the Youth Council community, so what we are doing is that we are engaging in different activities that will ensure and prepare us for us to grab the opportunity. As Comrade Jamiu said, we are ready. Comrade Jamiu is a lecturer in the Youth Council community space. A lot of people will always have that perception that when you see young people doing different youth work, they don't have a job. They are jobless. I'm an engineer. I'm certified by the NSC, and I'm a registered member of Korean. And I'm also a software developer. So if you have young people that have personal developmental skills within the youth space and within the political sphere, what happens is that you'll be able to get the right set of people in position. And those are people that have been prepared all their lives. They've been engaging in different activities, even right from their secondary school days. You observe that probably they've been prefects and they've been this, they've been that. In their university days, they've been SUG presidents and what have you. So those people have always been ready. So, but the question is, are you ready to grab it if they did not give you the opportunity?
But not by force.
Not by force, of course. Of course, you have to do it by the, legitimate means to get power. Of course, we have a lot of people that are doing that with legitimate means. So, but the question is, the system itself is not giving young people opportunity to also excel well within that sphere. But I'm so glad that we have a governor now, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, that is giving a lot of young people opportunity to be in power. In fact, if you look at virtually all the SSAs that Mr. Governor has, they are all young people. Majority, about 85% of them are young people. The Commissioner for Youth and Social Development is a young person. If you look at Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Minister for Youth is a female, a young person. The Minister for State for Youth is a male, young person. So we have a lot of young people doing well and they are representing well. So, and because these are people that are, they are like ground peg in the right set of hole. So if we have opportunities like this given to young people by the virtue of their credentials and what they've done in the past, I believe that this country is going to be great, as Comrade Jamiu said.
Okay, Comrade Jamiu, in our quest at involving our youth in grassroots development, state development, and of course the development of the nation in general, it worries me that during elections, they are usually vulnerable. People use them as tools for violence during elections. What are you doing to ensure that we change this narrative so that youth can actually see themselves as something, as an asset, instead of a tool for violence?
Okay, so that you have said is not rocket science. It will not happen at an instance. It's a process, because for you to, before you can respond to such call in engaging in vices, you must have gone through some processes in your mind. You must have you received the information. Okay, go and do this. Okay, should I do it? I will do it. What was the consequence? But if at the beginning we have made situation whereby we inform them, give them some reorientation.
Do you do that?
Yeah, that's the essence of advocacy that we do. See, when we engage program, before I used to think that when you do seminar, you just talk, people listen, they eat your food and go. It does not work. Trust me, I later realized that regardless of whatever program you are doing, 3, 4, 5 people benefit and they made resolution. I saw a young lady who's fortunately be the secretary of this comrade. She attended the first program of the National Health Council of the Lagos West Central District. Immediately, I became the vice chairman. We organized capacity building at Ikeja local government, and she attended. She told me, she gave that testimony last year. You don't know why I believed in your leadership, because that event transformed my life. Since that moment, I began to believe that advocacy seminars works. It might only take time. That's why I say it's not rocket science. So those set of young people that get involved in crisis, violence during election period is a function of what they have been fed in their thoughts. So those information in their thought that made them engage in that. You can't see somebody that attach value to himself, that has vision, and get involved in violence during election. Rather, you'll be thinking, when will I also be in that position that they'll be voting for me? When will I be in that position? So you will not get involved in that violence. So it's, the response is that it's not rocket science. It's a process.
It will take time.
Yeah, it will take time. So by engaging young people with different programs and activities.
Okay, I think Abimbola has a follow-up question.
I'd like to ask, I know you've been working with a lot of young people. Are there known challenges, or are there challenges that young people have identified inhibiting them from taking the bull by the horn? Because, I mean, you've said if given the opportunity, you will prove beyond reasonable doubts that you can deliver. But for young people generally, are there known challenges that either now or before now they've been facing that is probably also causing a delay in them also forging ahead in their quest to lead?
Okay.
So maybe both of you
that.
Would answer that question.
Okay, yeah. I will respond to that based on our response to such challenge.
Okay.
While I'm the vice chairman in 2022, fortunately, my colleague here was the chairman of that committee. we saw the challenge that young people are having challenges in getting involved in governance. So we deem it fit to reorientate, to educate young people across the board. So we organized an event tagged Youth and Governance Symposium in 2022 at Lagos Airport Hotel. It was we had over 3,000 youths at that event. Well, we invited a series of resource persons, the likes of Segalink, the vice chairman of Aige local government, Honorable Gbenga Abiola,
The now senator.
the now senator of Lagos West, you know, resource persons to engage young people as to the reason why they need to get involved in the governance. So a lot of challenges were identified and solutions were provided, part of which is fear. A lot of young people have the fear, can I do it? Some of the fear might be due to, they say that they kill people in politics. They do that. Some people is lack of funds. Democracy is very expensive now. So those things push them back. But our take home that day was that you need to give it a shot. Hold the bull by the horn.
There's no crime in trying.
There's no crime in trying. If you try it at that level, you have gone past the level of somebody who is at this other side. You're already taking a step. They will invite you to a stakeholders meeting. They will call you for meetings. They will negotiate with you. Then you already be in the circle of people that are capable of leading the society. So we have already seen the challenges. We also so we did that program at the level of the senatorial district. We are looking forward to have that program at the state level, where we have young people across the state that will reorientate them. And trust me, this 2027 election, you see a lot of young people. Before that, 2025, I have my colleague, a friend of mine that is vying for chairman local government.
Okay.
And he's really doing his campaign from now on. Currently he's in America doing a program. Just for you to know that a colleague of ours, a local branch coordinator of the Youth Council. So we are ready.
Okay.
So like in follow-up to that is that the known challenge for me is the issue of self-empowerment. Okay. Most of the young people that you see in the political space within our society, most of them do not have a second address. So they see politics and politicking as the first address, as the major thing that all their life is encapsulated under politics. So they don't have another means of getting funds. So if they are not making money through that means, it's a challenge. So what I always advocate for is that before you get into politics or leadership positions within our society, first of all, you need to be able to have a source of revenue for yourself. Something that you don't need to depend on anybody before you can take decisions. For example, if your source of livelihood is tied to someone, you can't make a move. Even if you are a local government chairman and you do not have a first address that probably you're a business person, that you are working on real estate, or you are doing one or two businesses. You are just focused on the money that comes from government. If that is the only thing you focus on, you will not excel in that space. It is not rocket science. You will never excel in it. So the best approach is go look for something that will empower you first.
Get a job.
Get a job.
Get something doing.
You should be able to make your own money by yourself. No, your money should not be dependent on anybody. Okay. If you have that, and we are able to get a lot of young people that also have that same energy in government, what happens is that you'll be moving with a lot of a battalion of people with the same ideology.
Okay, I'm sorry, Adebimpe. Fine, it's good that our youth should dream, they should aspire. But politics in Nigeria, like you rightly said, it's quite expensive. Are there plans in the future to collaborate in case Ibrahim is interested and he does not have the money? Are there plans for you, Jamiu, and others to support him so that he can at least get the nomination form of a particular political party?
Okay. Yes. So that still boils down to what I said earlier, that when you have the right people that you have the same thinking, you understand that you come together, you collaborate. We are not competing any longer. We are not in that era of competition amongst ourselves. No, rather it's collaboration. Like I gave that example of that our colleague that is vying at the moment. We are already making moves to drum support for him all together.
Yes.
Yeah, to support him. You understand that now? So at that local government chairman level, if it is another level where we are still growing up by God's grace, we are going to support ourselves because we share the same vision. We went through the same training. You understand that now? So we already have that in our archive, that As soon as we have any of our colleagues that will share the same thoughts together, then let's come together to support such person. People will be thinking, where is this support coming from? Brotherhood supporting brotherhood. You understand that?
I like that.
When the show started, you identified crime rate in your area as one of the issues that you have addressed and you're still addressing. Funds have also come up as one of the challenges you're all of. What are the other pressing issues that the Nigerian youth, want, that they need to be addressed, and how have you been able to address them?
Okay, so one of the pressing issues that is really affecting young people is that, when you look around, the first 10 people around you will influence your thoughts. You understand that now?
Just by seeing them.
Just
by looking at them.
Yes, just by looking at them and relating with them,
Okay.
whining and dining with them.
Okay.
They determine what comes to your head. You understand that now? They said the kind of people you work with, the kind of people you talk to, the kind of presentation you listen to, the kind of books you read,
The company you keep.
The company you keep determines who you become in the next 5 or 10 years. So these are factors. So, and there are a lot of people around young people, except those that decided to, like, no, guy, I want to change my circle. I remember it was all this seminar that I got that thinking in my 200 level days in Lautech. That man said that first thing you need to do, change your circle. Yes, it is just that circle that will give you a good thinking and ideology. So many of our young people out there, why you see them think in a negative way is because of what they receive from people around them. You can't tell me you see someone who the father is an engineer, the mother is a doctor, and you see him not thinking right. No. You understand that now? So these are things that contributed to a lot of thinking of young people. What they see around them, they don't see successful people. You understand that? So they never see success as something they can pursue at all costs. So these are major factors. Our surroundings, our environment is really affecting. Though you can salvage yourself. I'm from Agege. When people hear Agege, you understand that now?
I also raised my eyebrows.
So especially when you're passing under the bridge.
So as we wrap up this conversation this morning, do you also prioritize volunteering? Because a lot of young people also do not understand the value in volunteering. And so it's not all the time you take, you also must cultivate the habit of giving. And so if we're talking about political space and, of course, grassroots development, are you big on volunteering?
Yes, sincerely, virtually all our activities are driven by volunteers. In fact, we organized a tech program recently for a week, and that tech program, that program achieved through volunteerism. We got a lot of our facilitators, they volunteered for free, they didn't collect money. They all was given to us free of charge. Okay. And in fact, we got people volunteered to bring food for the participants. Wow. So most of our activities are driven by volunteer because our organization, our association is not driven by money.
Right.
Yeah, we are not funded by any government. We are not, though the government support us. So we only take collaborations from people. In fact, Comrade Jabi said something about the last program that was held, the Youth and Governance Symposium. That program was driven largely by volunteers. So we collected volunteers from across the states. And people volunteered to be photographers, people volunteered to be ushers, people volunteered to be anything. So what we have come to discover with volunteerism is that volunteerism enables you to establish yourself and express and exhibit your talents. Because what you cannot get through other means, probably you're not given the opportunity, volunteerism helps you to exhibit it. Because you do it, you make mistakes, people correct you, and you learn a lot. And I dare to say that most of us doing well in public office now, or doing well in the youth space now, it is because of the volunteerism that we've done in the past. So, the Youth Council and youth activism within our locality has driven majorly by volunteerism.
Yeah, let me just write on that. So I have a statement that serves as motivation for me.
1 minute because of our time.
Okay, so there is it that in volunteerism, there is wealth. Yeah, because when you volunteer, you get to expand your network. When you volunteer, you get to improve your knowledge, your skills. So eventually, you are expanding your wealth now, indirectly. So I encourage young people to volunteer for activities.
as a young person, I have learned that volunteerism will take me places. I've learned so much from it. Collaboration, and of course, keeping your circle, you know, tight, and you know, be mindful of the company you keep. Thank you very much, Comrade Jamiu Ademusu, Vice Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos West, and Ibrahim Adigun, Coordinator, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Odiolu Ojuwe Chapter. We've been discussing youth participation in grassroots development. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
We'll go on another short break now. When we come back, the conversation continues.